Well, if we get in trouble, then it's on you.
Don't you put that on me. Don't you put that on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up if you want. Today, we're jumping back into r/stories about Kevin. A little bit more of that Kevin in a Big Rig series. You know what I'm saying? It's tasty. It's delicious. It's oh so very good and nutritious. The past couple of days, we just been having some OPs that really get my blood boiling. So we're taking a step back from all that stuff. We'll just go ahead. We'll laugh at a Kevin. Hopefully, it's not going to get too frustrating. I got to go visit the doctor after this to get some blood pressure medication. That's not actually true. It's totally a joke. Although it might be true in the coming years. I don't actually know. But I put myself through all of this for you. I learned it from you, Dad. Oh, it's off the rails already. You can tell what kind of day it's gonna be. Let's go ahead. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this r/stories about Kevin, a cringe. Kevin in a Big Rig, Part 4. First, Kevin gets lost, and OP gets an idea. Oh, an idea. You can just leave him in the woods. That would be so welcome after almost freezing OP to death in the last episode. If you missed those previous episodes, that link down in the description. As per usual, I hope you go check it out. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another installment of the series, Kevin in a Big Rig. Oh, we're so glad to see you use a strong bad junior. This is a hotly requested series. I am so glad to be covering it on my channel. Yes. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone who has read my previous episodes and shown more interest and support than I ever could have hoped for. Yeah, look at his platinum awards and stuff like that. God, people really stacking it up for you. This is nice. I know a lot of you have been asking questions about how first Kevin, aka Fuck, got away with his stupidity, and why I didn't do anything about it. I apologize for not answering many of you outright, but I can promise that I fully intend to answer all of your questions in the upcoming posts. And I can further assure you that it will all be worth it. Now, without further ado, on to part 4. First, Kevin gets lost, and then OP gets an idea. I mean, it wasn't really a question for me. This is the first Kevin that you've dealt with. You're relatively new at the job. You don't want to rock the boat too much. There are myriad reasons why you would be putting up with this. But yeah, it does reach a tipping point after a while. And after the 20th time, I'm sort of like, hey, why are we not taking action? Why not go the Chris Trucker route and buy a bunch of air horns, right? Every time he does something dumb, blast him. Every time he does something smart, snacky cake. Seems to have worked out, at least for a little while. Some backstory first, though. This story takes place a few weeks after the truck heater snafu. Oh yeah, the part where you almost died? That little snafu? How can we be so nonchalant about this? Come on, call it what it is. The near-death experience. While I would like to say that Fuck learned from his mistakes and tried to do better, it would be more accurate to say that he merely doubled down on his brain-dead antics. In the interim, his driving skills plateaued at noob level. His navigation ability was at potato, and his superiority complex had gone from annoying to absolutely insufferable. Okay, we see the path that this is taking. How are we going to deal with it? And the answer to dealing with it is not just sitting there and dealing with it. You need to strike back. You need to hatch a grand scheme. And I think that's what OP gets an idea means. So now we've got Chris Trucker Mommy Honker Donker got some schemes going on, and now we got Kevin in the Big Rig, Strong Bad Jr., also getting his schemes going. I love schemes. Oh my God.
You know, they're schemers. Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
Despite everything, I was still very much a rookie driver. Just a peon in a very big company. And most importantly, more broke than MC Hammer. Oh, leave MC Hammer alone. Come on now.
Can't touch me. You can't touch me.
What in God's name is he doing?
You can't touch me.
He didn't do nothing. I was afraid that doing anything to rock the boat with management would lead to me being fired and in further debt, and my truck driving career at an end. See, it's exactly what I theorized, isn't it? He's new. He doesn't know how far he could take this stuff and how much he could actually rock the boat. It's always a shitty position to be in, you know, but maybe you do take this to HR at some point and be like, hey, we almost died. I'd like a new partner. Didn't seem to work for Honker Donkers, but maybe your HR company is a little bit more competent. I hope. Oh my God, I hope. Maybe they're all incompetent. I don't know what's going on. To add some perspective to my situation during this, I should mention more about the contract that I had in place with the company at the time. Oh, you got a contract? You can do whatever you want. Go ahead, let him break the contract. No, it's probably not a good contract, is it? In exchange for free training, I had agreed to work for the company for 8 months. If I quit or was terminated for any reason before that contract was fulfilled, I would be liable for over $6,000 in tuition fees. Jesus Christ, you screwed. Why would you sign a contract like that? That is horrible. They're like, hey, let me just put my dick in your mouth. And he's like, yeah, sure. If it means getting the job. Come on, dude. Don't sign something like that. That is awful. I get desperation and whatnot, but I'm sure there are trucking companies out there that won't screw you as hard, right? Come on. Shop around. Furthermore, since the company owned the training facility at which I trained, they could refuse to release my CDL school records to any prospective employers unless they bought the contract. Oh my God, dude. This is scandalous. I hate everything about this company already. Since most reputable employers required proof of completion of a CDL school and were unwilling to make such an investment in a relatively inexperienced driver, I was stuck and pretty much at their mercy. It takes two to tango, man. You kind of did this to yourself. I don't know how I could feel all that bad about it. The company laid out all the terms and you're like, that sounds fine to me. I guess at the time it was fine. You're like, anything to get the job. But no, then you might get stuck in a situation like this and god damn, this is a sticky situation. This is the dark truth that many super carriers such as Swift, Werner, and CRST will not tell you when they promise you a rewarding career and free training. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to tell you outright, but did you read the contract before you signed it? I don't know, man. I guess most people don't, but it is a smart idea. Maybe consider doing that in the future. In short, I was pretty much powerless, but that was about to change. And in some strange way, I have fuck to thank for that. Useful idiots, that's what most Kevins are. If you can manipulate them to your own uses, then I say go ahead and do it. Maybe he can serve a purpose yet, right? If you're a real company, you will be the one to fit the bill for the training. Otherwise, it's essentially a scam. It's essentially a bunch of bullshit. And I can't sign off on any of this. Revise the contract, for God's sake. Don't sign it like this. The morning on which this story takes place started out pretty much like any other day for the past 2 months. Fuck finished his shift, and I woke up to see what kind of fresh hell of a mess I had to sort out. OP, help me, I'm stuck on the freeway again. Hey, get stuck on the freeway, man. All you gotta do is go one direction, keep your foot on the gas. The day before we had picked up a load in Pennsylvania, with me doing the initial pickup, I had gotten us just across the state line into Ohio before going off duty. Just before picking up said load, I had filled the fuel tanks completely and burned maybe a quarter tank of gas before going off duty. The next fuel stop was less than 400 miles, so yeah, we had more than enough fuel to get there. Oh my god, dude, he ran the fuel tank dry. He's just like, yeah, we ain't gonna stop for gas or nothing. Beautiful. Kevin never stops Kevining, and at least we can depend on him for that much. Again, Fuck had ended his shift with no clue where we were. No surprise there. A quick look out of the window. Oh, we're on the shoulder of a highway. You need to stop doing this, Kevin. You need to change and be different, Kevin. I just love it. What an idiot. So yeah, what a completely unexpected and unprecedented development. Yawn. I love how it just happens so regularly. OP's just like, oh, whatever. Fine, let's get this over with. By this point, I had already purchased my own truck-enabled GPS. Fuck, apparently upset that I didn't recognize his obviously superior ability, had thrown a tantrum and demanded that I no longer use his GPS because he would work out the route. Yeah, right. We see how well that's going, right? Can we be a team? We're supposed to be a team in this truck. I know you don't want to be on my team, but maybe get on my team, because your team that's just you, it kind of sucks. I'm offering you a way out. So he gets out of the driver's seat and, like the petulant man-child he was, he took his GPS from the mount. This really is some baby stuff going on. How old are y'all? Too old for this damn stuff. Cut it out. A trick I learned from my trainer was, when using a GPS, you should enter the departure and destination, and then add each assigned fuel stop in order as waypoints along the route. This forced the GPS to stay on the company route like 90% of the time. Also, our fuel payment cards would only work at the assigned fuel stop, so it just made life easier to follow that route. Having to get fuel elsewhere needed a valid reason, assistance from dispatch, and often carried a lecture about the importance of the company assigned route. I had tried to teach this trick to Fuck, but he had so much more experience than I did, a full month, that he felt he didn't need to listen to me. Good God, dude is just so far up his own ass. I don't understand why we even need the GPS if it's all along a company assigned route. 90% of the time. You guys know where you're going, right? It's fine. It's fine. We don't have to innovate. You don't even need separate GPSs, all right? You reach in the back seat, you pull out your Thomas guide, and you mark your lines along the way, right? Me over here sounded like an old ass man. Thomas guide. Everybody's like, OnStar? No, it's, you guys don't remember the Thomas guide? I don't either, honestly. This is like a time way before the internet was a thing. And then once MapQuest popped up in the early 90s, everybody threw their goddamn Thomas guides out the window. Yes, we are in a better place now, okay? GPS is way easier than actually sitting there and reading a goddamn map. But as always, I'll be damned if I'm gonna agree with Kevin, okay? I have to do it differently than that guy does it. But really, yeah, probably just use Google Maps. You'll be fine. You don't even need a GPS. I got a phone, right? I got a phone. It's fine. I guess the GPS is good for like areas where there's no cell coverage or something like that. But even then, the route is planned out. You just have to follow what it says through the area where there's no cell coverage, right? How could it possibly fail? What could possibly go wrong? I guess we go find out. Anyways, quite a tangent we got off on. Just me refusing to agree with Kevin. But yes, I set my GPS and I hit the current location function. This, of course, was completely routine because Kevin never had any clue where we were. I had already familiarized myself with the route and knew which highways, towns, and cities I could use to help my bearings. This time, however, I was completely stumped. Oh, Kevin, you see what happens when we don't use the same GPS, Kevin? When we don't pull the Thomas guide out of the back and look over it together, Kevin. This is so dumb, bro. I had expected that fuck would have gotten at least halfway into Illinois, but the GPS had us in some small town in Indiana. Also, it wasn't a town that I had seen on either the GPS route or the paper map that I routinely use to verify the GPS. Oh, Strongbad Jr. out here using paper maps. High five! That's big brain time. I'm just so happy. So happy when old people things get mentioned. Okay, that was odd. I looked again at the GPS for a highway number or a street name. Again, nothing on it showed me anything that made any sense. He took you way off course. What are we supposed to do now, Kevin? I bet dispatch is calling in like, hey, truck, where you going? What's this? Take a little detour, huh? All right, then. We don't pay you for those extra miles, just to be clear. So I go back to the navigation page where it showed the distance to the next checkpoint, which would have been our next fuel stop. This didn't make sense either, as it was showing close to 500 miles to go to the first fuel stop, not the second. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have fucked this up so royally, son. It might be even worse than almost killing OP in the last episode. Because now you're messing with my money, right? We get paid per mile, okay? This situation is just so untenable. I can't anymore. I'm gonna drive the whole truck my damn self. Because whenever I let you take over, you just undo everything that I just did. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Holy God. This is so stupid. How did you do this, Kevin? Did you mix up left and right, Kevin? Do you know which way is north, Kevin? Dude don't belong behind the wheel. No way, no how. I'm amazed. I'm not even mad, I guess, because it's just, you know, Kevin things, but I am shocked that you would screw up so royally. And even OP doesn't want to believe it. It had to be a mistake, I think, since there was no way to be further from the fuel stop than we were when I went off duty. Was there? Oh, there just might be. There might be one way, and his name is Kevin. Oh, Lord, it's killing me. I sit in the driver's seat for about 5 minutes, trying to make sense of what the GPS is telling me. I had almost convinced myself that maybe the GPS just didn't log us reaching the fuel stop and was trying to backtrack. Logic has no place here, OP. I'm dying, dude. It's so funny. I was about to force it to reroute to the second fuel stop when I, by chance, happened to check the fuel gauge, and my bottom jaw hit the floor. Where once the needle had just been above the 3/4 line, it was now showing less than 1/4 of a tank. By my estimates, that was good for about 100 miles safely. Something was very, very wrong. And I'll give you one guess as to what that thing's name is that was so very wrong. I love it. I'm so glad we chose to do Kevin's today, because that's entertaining the hell out of me. So I turned to him. I says, "Fuck, where the hell are we?" I asked, knowing that it was in vain. "I don't know," he replied testily. He had been growing more indignant ever since the heater fiasco. "Really, dude? You almost kill us both and you're the one who wants to act indignant? We gotta fight. We gotta fight this out right now. We'll figure out what's what when we punch each other until somebody stops moving." Either I win and you have a newfound respect for me, or you win and I have a newfound respect for you. It's gonna work out. It's fine. Just start swinging. Did you get to the first fuel stop? No. Did you get lost again? He didn't respond right away. I was following the company route, he finally replied, proudly. That is bullshit, because we are very low on fuel and further away from the fuel stop than we were when you started. He looked stunned. Apparently, he hadn't realized that fact. Give me your GPS, Kevin. You don't even know how to use it. I'm throwing this out the window. You will use the GPS that I route so we can stay on course. You just ruined everything. A full shift or more to get us back to where we were when I last got off shift? Oh, I would be so pissed. You're essentially driving for free today. Congratulations, because of your dumbass coworker. Oh! I can't even believe it. I turned back to my GPS and take a look at the map, and everything became clear. We were way off course, about 300 miles from the interstate that we were supposed to be on. How did you do this? I have so many questions. God. I don't know how, but we were well and truly lost. Lost, low on fuel, in the Midwest, and well into wintertime. Fuck my life. We're gonna have another hypothermia situation. It's all gonna be Kevin's fault. At what point do you punch him? Just tell me that much. I don't know how these trucker OPs have so much more patience than I would ever have in a situation like this. Honestly, I don't understand why Kevin is so adamant about freezing OP to death, but after the second attempt on my life, it's you or me, buddy. Step out of the truck. I'm not gonna let you try this a third time. God damn. I decided to abandon getting back on the assigned route because fucking wasted the entire shift with his unplanned detour, and I didn't want to make the situation any worse. I tell the GPS to search for nearby truck stops. It takes a few moments, but the patron saint of truckers had not abandoned me. There was a Flying J truck stop less than 20 miles away. Yes, saving the bacon every time, OP. Kevin does not deserve a partner as good at what you do as you. He might be a month more experienced with the driving, but as far as life goes, he's an infant. He can't function on his own. So yeah, I tell the GPS to take me there and send an urgent message to dispatch. I tell them that we need our fuel card unlocked for that location and that we are dangerously low on fuel. To my surprise, Kevin didn't like this idea. We have to stick to the company route. If we run out of fuel, it's the company's fault. Yeah, we'll take it up with them while we freeze to death. Are you stupid? Do you not remember? He probably doesn't remember because he's just covered in blubber. He's like, I didn't even remember that. Yeah, you were freezing? Man, all I could think about was having some coffee in the morning. Company route? I scoff. You got us lost! Again! You have no idea where we are! Again! I have to spend half of my day correcting all your fuck-ups again. Right now, the company route doesn't mean a damn thing because I have no clue where we are. What I do know is that we need fuel, and we need it right now. Kevin starts sulking. Well, if we get in trouble, then it's on you.
Oh, don't you put that on me. Don't you put that on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby!
I can't believe that this dude is seriously like, yeah, this is your fault if we get in trouble. Like, aren't you the one who drove us out into the middle of nowhere, stupid? Oh my God. I love it. I love it so much. I shouldn't love it as much as I love it, but I love it. That's fine by me, I reply, and just start getting us going down the road. My reasoning is that if I run out of fuel at a truck stop after requesting the fuel cards open, dispatch would have to explain why they didn't allow it. Running a semi out of fuel requires some very expensive emergency road service. However, if I run out of fuel while going down the highway, I'll have to explain to dispatch, the safety department, and the highway patrol as to why I couldn't read a fuel gauge. Yes, I voted to minimize my responsibility and at least get somewhere where fuel is available. The last thing I wanted to do was repeat what happened at that dealership parking lot. I'm telling you, he's trying to freeze you out, OP. You can't do this. He's got some deep, dark plans for you. That's what I predict from this, Kevin. I wonder how it's gonna end with him. There's so many tales. I thought OP said it was gonna be about multiple Kevins, but nope. It's mostly just about fuck. I'm glad he was the first. I hope that he's the last. Lordy. About a half hour later, we get to the truck stop. It's early morning, so several other trucks are already refueling, and we have to wait in line. I check my computer, and to my surprise, dispatch approved the fuel purchase, but was concerned as to how we got so far off course. Oh, let me tell you. You can ask Kevin about it, actually. I was asleep. I finished my shift, and then everything that I did was undone, so I don't know. Am I throwing him under the bus? Yeah, I guess, whatever. He deserves it at this point. I reply that I just came on duty, and fuck was the one who got lost again. I didn't expect anything of this, since the night shift dispatchers didn't handle things like employee discipline or service records. When the time comes, I top off the tanks, almost 150 gallons of diesel, and I try to figure out what the hell I can do to get us back on track. Oh man, yeah. Now one problem is solved. Now we just have to get back to where we were. A bit of problem solving. This would drive me crazy. Again, I don't know how you're being so patient with him. I wouldn't be thinking about paying back this bullshit contract at this point. I would only be thinking about punching Kevin in the face until he stops moving. After driving about 5 hours, I finally get us back on course and decide to take my legally required break. As I go to put myself off duty, I notice an important message has come from dispatch. It's from my fleet manager. I'll call her FM for short, roughly equivalent to a supervisor. "Call me, ASAP," was all it said. "Oh, great," I say. No, really, this conversation is gonna suck. Hand the phone over to Kevin. He's the one responsible for all of this. I take my phone, step out of the truck, and make that difficult call. "What are you two doing? How did you end up so far off your route? Did you follow the route that we gave you?" "What do you mean, fleet manager?" "Well, Fuck says you've been ignoring the company routes, and that's why you've been getting lost." "Oh, so Kevin's trying to throw me under the bus." "You need to go punch him. You need to go punch him right now, OP. He can't keep getting away with it."
He can't keep getting away with it.
I hate it so much, dude. We could have just let it roll, but you had to step out of your lane, try and make me look like shit. It's not gonna happen that way. So yeah, that explains it. Kevin, the little weasel, sent her a text message with some made-up story, and my blood started to boil. Good. Yes. Embrace the hatred. Them's fighting words for sure. If you don't punch him right now, OP, then you 100% bitch made. You gotta stand up for you and yours. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way. It's the only way. Fleet manager, first of all, I have no clue what happened. When I finished my shift yesterday afternoon, everything was fine. We were on course and had plenty of fuel. I woke up this morning on the side of a 2-lane highway in the middle of bumfuck Indiana with no clue how I got there and running on fumes. That is why I sent the message to have the fuel cards opened. Well, you two are a team, so you have to work together. No, it's obviously not working. You're the fleet manager. Swap him out. Let me drive alone. I can't do this anymore. We've almost died multiple times. I took a deep breath, though, fighting back the urge to launch into a verbal tirade that would surely get me fired. Instead, I just said, "Fleet manager, you know what Kevin is like. Well, just figure it out." Yeah, great management style. Fucking idiot. You just figure it out. Oh, okay, cool. It's not like you have to do your job. I'll just do both of our jobs, okay? How about that? God, I hate do-nothing managers. She hangs up, and I have to fight the urge to throw my phone across the parking lot. I hate everything about this. Why is every trucking company so horrible? I'm so glad I'm not a truck driver, bro. I want to do YouTube forever. Don't make me be a truck driver, please. A short time later, I return to the truck and make ready to head back out. Fuck is sitting in the passenger seat, his precious notebook in his hand. He's trying to hide a shit-eating grin on his face, but his 1970s porn star mustache gives it away. You really think you got away with something there, don't you, Kevin? Why don't you step out of the truck, Kevin? You gotta handle it, OP. I'm saying, you can't let this one slide, or dude is gonna walk all over you. Punch him. Punch him right now. You ain't even gotta step out of the truck. Go and kick him in the windpipe while he's sitting down. It's fine. I'll excuse a sucker punch at this point. "So," he said, "you gonna follow the company route? You're a company driver, so you gotta follow the company route." Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? We were on the route, and you drove us all the way back to the beginning. What are you talking about? He then hands me his notebook, open to the page where he had written down the route. I take it and throw it into the back. Yes, vitriol. Embrace your hatred. Listen to me, shithead. You're not my boss. You're not my trainer. I don't take orders from you. From now on, I'll drive the truck my way, and you drive it yours. Unless it's an emergency, keep your cock holster mouth shut. Cock holster mouth. Oh, I love that. All right. I mean, it's not as good as punching him, but I do like that burn. I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket for later. For a moment, he looks terrified, and then petulant as he goes back to the bunk. Good riddance. I mean, I guess this is one way to work it out. Fleet manager ain't gonna do nothing. You guys just figure it out. All right, I'll figure it out when I beat the living shit out of Kevin. It's the only way this is going to work. For the rest of the day, I go through everything that happened over the past 2 months. When I think that after all the times I had to babysit a supposedly more experienced partner, I get blamed for everything going wrong, I just get more and more upset. Do something about it. Why would you just sit there and be upset when you can do something about it right now? Like stabbing him in his sleep. Okay, maybe that's a little far, but at least slap him in the back of the head or something. Come on. Since I'm a broke newbie driver under a hobbling contract with no support from anyone, what can I do? I need to get away from this clown, but how? There was only some way that I could prove that he's the one fucking it all up. I'm just a truck driver. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't always a truck driver. Oh, a little bit of backstory here. What's your plan? How you gonna get back at him? It better be good. The punching plan isn't great because you probably will lose the contract. But I don't know, it's better than getting shit on every day, isn't it? Before I started driving, I was a manager at a steel mill. I was an engineer by trade, and my previous job had me dealing with safety and environmental regulations, quality control, OSHA, DOT, and my least favorite, corporate bureaucracy. Hooray! We live in a bureaucracy. Corporation. The company I was driving for was a corporation with a hierarchy of increasingly incompetent managers, VPs, and directors who will be slow to take responsibility but first demand someone else to do it. However, I happen to know how to get their attention. Documentation. That's right. You gotta find some proof. Shove it under their nose, and if they don't respond, then you go to the person over their head. All right, now we making moves. Is it as exciting as assault? I guess not, but it is the smarter way to go about things. So good for you, OP. What's your first piece of documentation going to be? That's what I'm really curious about. But what I needed was something to document. Cue my other valuable skill set, investigation. Oh, PI, here we go. Part of my old job had been to investigate accidents, chemical spills, defective products, etc., and find out what happened, why it happened, and how to prevent it in the future. In doing this, I learned that the more details you gather, the better. Dates, times, names of witnesses, photos, video, ambient air temperature, tea price in Bangladesh. If it was even remotely relevant, write it down. Best of all, I was really good at it, often finding problems that everyone else overlooked. God, I am super curious now how all of this is going to come to a head. I was saying OP got no balls, but yeah, this is a great, smart way to go about it. You are showing your balls, but they're smart balls. That's a little different than the big dumb balls that I used to hit people with. So 2 pieces of a plan began to form. First off, I would just need to observe everything that fuck did and said, looking for anything that I could use to prove just how truly incompetent he was. In addition, every time he got lost or went off route, I would take a picture with my phone of the truck's computer logs, showing the GPS pings and their timestamps, along with a photo of his daily driver log. Fuck would be under investigation and not even know it. I mean, really, that is some undeniable proof. Look, the GPS is going this way while he's on shift. And then I come back on shift, I try to get it back on route until it's his shift again. And then we get dragged off, and he's over here talking about the corporate route. You don't even know where you're going, Kevin. God damn. I finish my shift and go off duty. Before I go to sleep, I decide to check the computer records to see exactly what it was that Kevin did the night before that got us so very lost. According to the GPS pings, he had, for some reason, turned off the interstate and driven close to 500 miles. With over 150 of those miles going in the opposite direction than where we needed to go. Classic. I took snapshots of the ping and the first Kevin driver logs and showed that he was on duty when all of this crap happened. Oh yes, fleet manager, you are going to eat so much crow. Here it comes, you bitch. Figure it out. Yeah, I did. Here you go. Everybody's getting fired. But that wouldn't be enough, I knew. I needed more. Much more. So I took an old legal pad and began making a list of every stupid, dangerous, and dim-witted thing that fuck had ever done, including dates and times where I could, and I started writing an email. An email that would take an entire month to complete. Oh, OP is going in for the kill. I asked myself how this is going to end. This is how it's going to end, with the power of bureaucracy. Not as exciting, but it'll get the job done eventually in 3 to 6 months. And that's where I'm going to end part 4, but not to worry, everyone. This story isn't even close to being over yet. Thank you to everyone for reading this far and for the continued support and engagement. I hope you've enjoyed the series this far, and you will find these tales, if not informative or enlightening, then at the very least, entertaining. And stay tuned. Part 5 will be released shortly. Spoiler alert, in Part 5, we learn part of the reason why Kevin is such a Kevin. Is he missing part of his brain or something like that? That's really the only explanation that I can come up with. Dude is just a complete idiot, like, from birth, right? It is a decent cliffhanger. I always do like to see it, so we'll have to get back into part 5. Luckily, the story's all written. We ain't even gotta wait. If you're really that curious, you hop onto the Stories About Kevin subreddit, read it for yourself. But it's not gonna have my patented commentary, so, I don't know. Hopefully, even if you do read it yourself, you'll also read it again when it pops up, when I decide to do it. You know, something like that. This story was definitely rage-inducing, watching OP just get smacked around at every single turn. But eventually, enough was enough, and he decided to take action. And that is the catharsis that I'm looking for. Yes! Punish him for his misdeeds! I hope Kevin loses his job. I hope it goes down in a giant fireball. Take Fleet Manager with you. She's useless as shit, apparently. Just figure it out. You're supposed to be a team. Oh, really? Thank you for your helpful words of encouragement, you useless idiot. She's a Kevina, as far as I'm concerned. Just burn them all to the ground. Let me drive this truck my damn self. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I hope you like, comment, and or subscribe, because that's always pretty big brain stuff to do, you know? We got links down in the description. Plugs, playlists, podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. I'm all over the internet, including my social medias. Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Twitch, where we live stream this whole thing. And it's a pretty good time, you know? Come on through. Check me out if you want. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons, whom I would like to thank as I do every episode. So thank you. Wire.P and Jerry, Darth Luscious, Harley Hogan, Repent the Squirrel, Robert Allen Waits, Camille Sarah, Chance for Blue Kraken, Malama Man, Roxanne Wolf, Sim Jerry, Conrad Ingy, Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Destiny Piper, Aaron Jerry, Alexa Smith, Broken Logic, Esteban, Frog Leg Side, might be the end for I Wear, you hang in there. Or Gammy Steve, Bean Tom with a bag of bottles from downtown, Jerry, beg for forgiveness. No forgiveness here. Silent Revolver, PCB, Jerry, the original Jerry, that's the OG Jerry. Tick Jerry, Jerry's considered a 211 Jerry, the two Jerrys, a tiny boy, the guard chihuahua, I will bite your ankles. You might catch her in the comments for reals. A very tired Jerry, a Justy Jargonia Jerry, and Frankenberry. It's a hot bitch in there. Aspen XO, Assassin Punk Jerry, Aurora Wildheart, X-Egg Grizzly, Baby Jerry, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Bitch Gremlin, Blake the Hero, Blip Jerry, Calvin Jerry, Chelsea Kitsune, Commander J Tank, Confederate Jew, Dennis Dayton, Dr. Lux, Duck, just Duck, Emergent Jewel, Aaron Era, Eastmarks 50, Frozen Over Studios, Fire Drake, Gypsy, Adrian BR, I'm Slim Jerry, I'm the real Jerry, Irish Pirate, Soul Leprechaun Below Decks, Twist That or a Stowaway Jerry, Iron Hollow, welcome to the fold, friends, Irradiated Jam, Itchy Nuts, Just Scratch and Pro, a Pimp named J Chris, JM Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Knight, Jerry Evil, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, Jerry Beans, now with Green Apple and Jerry Berry flavors, yes, patent pending, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt, Crew He, Legend Maker, this Monday, Lord Jerry, like and subscribe, Milady Dix, the next to the last Jerry Bender, Marvel Mabel, Melgar Destroyer, Metal Factor, Needless King 89, Nightmare Jerry, Paragon Soul, Fate of the Pines, Jerry Kins and Jerry Beth, Queen Quaaludes and Quagmires, Ramtide Lacromates, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Sassy Octopus, Scarlet Kevin, Serena Moore, Sergeant Gaycop, Bring Her the Law, Silo Wimp, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boosted, Brilliant Tamago, Tapioca Blue, Taylor Fair, Tenton Monster, the Italian Greyhound Dino, the Lilith Who, the Witcher Fusky, trying to find another bottle to get back to the real world. You probably don't want to blow into that balloon, not suggestion. Busy Bee, B3 Prime, Vanguard Angel, Viking Jerry, Wiki Tech, Lil Mag, Zephyr the Gargoyle, or Clay. It's Jerry time. Holds ReddX Morpher, Self-Reflection. That's Luca. Comrade Mooney, Kira, not another Jerry, but he is though. Redwind, Naga Viper, Saint Blessing, Third Stuff, Venom Jerry, Jace Christensen, One Leg Jerry was stolen by Pissant, a normal Jerry, Activate, Transformation Belt, Headshine, Tobin Rider, Beard Grease. I don't understand the reference. Admiral T-Tech, Era Alder, another stupid hipster, Atomic Jerry Zilla, Babsy Goon, Bartender Keeler, Blueberry and Apple Pie, Broken Spine Horseradish, Cake Jerry, the original, different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Chevron 7 Lock, Chicago the Panda, Cody, secretly a Jerry operative. Watch out. Corporal Lambo, Furry Warrior, Wool Jerry, Crypt Titties, D Crazy, aka SDI Jerry, the Farm Jerry, Death the Tuna, Dopamine Dane Jerry is Dwarfy Dude, Dose of Alpha, he cannot. Janitor Jerry, made it across the Finland. Only cost me a handful of bombs, paying flat to be. Jeffrey, Geralt of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's, Webby Apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on. Check out that mustache on Jerry Older Rivera, Jerry Roxas, Jerry Role Playing Game, Judge Jerry and Executioner, Keaton Tails, Kid Marvelous, Kids Again, Life of Guardian, Lil Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Mama Chia, CD, maybe next time Milkbed, get Miss Duchess, not Invisible Angel, Raptor, she's my Jerry Pie, Cool Drink of Water, what a surprise, Snary, that's Snob Jerry, if you don't know. Snowman, what is best in life? To crush your neckbeards, to put their feet to Jesus, to hear the lamentation of their body pillows. I hope that one never changes, honestly. Spooky the Rogue, Spoopy Scary, Jerry Ton, Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, not, to Infinite Jerry and beyond. We go in there. Unkale, Underwater Movies, formerly the X-Card, Unfortunate Jerry screaming at Nookie's latest magical girl transformation, make it stop! Throws 2 liter Mountain Dew, grow by Neckbeard, grow! It's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher, hygiene, it's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher, humility! And thank you, of course, to all my gorgeous $1 patrons as well.
Blessed be all the Jerrys and not Jerrys alike. Yes, yes, yes. I love them so very much. Helping me to do all kinds of stuff on the channel. Pay for thumbnails, pay for the editor, pay for whatever crazy kind of stuff I want to do. And yeah, that means a whole heck of a lot to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you can sign up and join them, that would be absolutely huge. If you can't afford to do so, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos, or documenting an email about your idiot coworker that will inevitably get him fired. That does seem like a pretty fun pastime, too. Anyways, I hope you guys will always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.